Today, I wanted to spend a moment with Jesus and his disciples in the Garden of Gethsemane, moments before the betrayal of Jesus. Can you imagine what it was like for the disciples that were in the garden with Jesus? I suppose it was the kind of moment where you are on the edge of your seat, or when you hear spooky music and a movie score that alerts you that something is about to happen. But Scripture tells us that their reaction is a little different than you might expect. They fell asleep. We are told in Matthew 26 that the disciples slept while the Son of Man prayed and anticipated his crucifixion. See, when the disciples fell asleep, they missed what it looked like to pray when faced with something terrifying. They missed Jesus preparing for dying for their sins because, as the Scripture tells us, their flesh was weak. They missed a prayer that I, as someone who loves being in control, often pray, "Your will be done." Your will be done is a prayer that reminds us that we are not God. It's a prayer that recognizes that even if we cannot see the good in the moment, we know that it will be there. It is a prayer that trusts. Yet, if we are asleep through our spiritual lives, like the disciples in the garden, then we might miss the profound lessons that God sets before us. But we don't have to do it alone. Jesus wakes the disciples up 3 times. He does not leave them. He does not run, even in his darkest hour. Instead, he continually attempts to include them in what he is doing. He desires for them to come along and be a part of his story, his plan. So my prayer for you is that you might be awake to the lessons and the plan that God sets before you this Lenten season. But most of all, I pray one thing: Lord, your will be done. Thank you.